Hi there, I'm Lord Mooney, and today I will discuss the top 10 extremely scary creepypastas. Well, at least for me, they're extremely scary. Number 10, Happy Appy. Happy Appy is a creepypasta of a cancelled show on Nick Jr. The original show depicted a talking apple named Happy Appy. It taught kids how to handle certain injuries. At first, it seems normal, however. After a couple of episodes, it gets progressively worse and worse. After their final episode, the 8th episode, it was only 2 hours when Logan removed all traces of the show happening. Most known about the show is that 2001 reports say the episodes seem to depict happenings of 9/11, even though the episode was shown in 1999. That's pretty creepy if you ask me. Don't you think? Number 9. Abandoned by Disney. This details a tourist's encounter with a deranged photonegative mutant of Mickey Mouse that supposedly dwells on Treasure Island, an abandoned Disney resort located in Baker's Bay, Bahamas. A traveler explores its incomplete remains. Upon arriving, the narrator describes the palace in surreal details, including a wild encounter near a section of the building marked Mascots Only, where he is greeted by an eerie, photo-negative version of Mickey Mouse. Now that is super creepy. I wouldn't want to see that. Number 8. Username 666. Basically, searching this channel on YouTube and refreshing the page a few times will lead you to a decaying YouTube page with a video which you are able to play. I wouldn't recommend going to this page because once you're there, there is no way out. You can't exit out or even shut down your computer. Your computer immediately catches a dangerous virus once here. So if you want to try this, make sure it's on an old computer that you don't really care about anymore. I definitely wouldn't try that on my computer. Number 7. SmileDog.jpg. SmileDog is a creepypasta story about a haunted image that drives those who view it insane. The exact origin is unknown, but is rumored to have been posted on 4chan back in 2008. It is said that if someone emails you this image, you have to email it to someone else. If not done, the image will start to get worse after just a few days with a red background and a huge grin on the dog's face, and things will be very bad for you. Number 6. Squidward Suicide. There was a lost episode titled Squidward Suicide. In this episode, Squidward seems very depressed. So depressed that he starts sobbing. The sobbing gets louder with hurt and anger. His sobbing sounds real, however, as if the speakers were holes in and the sound was coming through from the other side. Suddenly, all was silent. A deep voice was heard. "Do it," it said. He pulls out a shotgun and boom! You know what happens next, right? Yeah, I thought so. Number 5. Slenderman. Slenderman is a mythical creature often depicted as a tall, thin figure wearing a black suit and a blank face. According to the legend, he can stretch or shorten his arms at will, and has tentacle-like appendages on his back. Depending on the interpretations of the myth, the creature may cause memory loss, insomnia, paranoia, coughing fits, nicknamed Slender Sickness, video distortions, and can teleport at will. Slenderman also appears in the background photos with children. It is said that he mostly targets children. Why? I don't really know, but he can target adults too, so be careful. Number 4. White with red. A man went to a hotel and walked up to the front desk to check in. The woman at the desk gave him his key and told him that on the way to his room there was a door with no number that was locked and no one was allowed in there. No one should look inside the room under any circumstances. He followed her instructions. The next night, his curiosity rised and he decided to go to the door. He bent down and looked through the keyhole. He saw a pale white-skinned woman standing in the corner. He wanted to knock but decided not to. The next day, he returned to the door and looked through the keyhole again. This time, all he saw was nothing but redness. He walked to the front desk where the woman was. "Did you look through the keyhole?" she said. "Well, I might as well tell you the story. A long time ago, a man murdered his wife in that room, and her ghost haunts it. But those people were not ordinary. They were white all over except for their eyes, which were red. Super creepy. Come on. That is super creepy." Number 3. Who's in my bed? The boy's father entered the room to tuck him in and tell him good night. "Daddy, can you check for monsters under the bed?" He looks underneath for his amusement and sees him. Another him, under the bed. He stares at his father, quivering and whispering, "Daddy, there's someone on my bed." Number 2, the rake. Here are 3 witness stories I found. A suicide note, 1964. "As I prepare to take my life, I feel it necessary to assuage any guilt or pain I have introduced through this act. It is not the fault of anyone other than him. For once I awoke, I felt his presence, and once I awoke, I saw his form. Once again I awoke and heard his voice and looked into his eyes. I cannot sleep without fear of what I might next awake to experience. I cannot ever wake. Goodbye." A Mariner's Log, 1691. "He came to me in my sleep. From the foot of my bed I felt a sensation. He took everything. We must return to England. We shall never return here again at the request of the rake." And finally, a journal entry, translated from Spanish in 1880. "I have experienced the great terror. I see his eyes when I close mine. They are hollow, black. They saw me and they pierced me. His wet hand, I will not sleep. His voice." And finally, number 1. Mother's Call. I saved the best for last. This one is my personal favorite. A young girl is playing in her bedroom when she hears her mother call her from the kitchen. So she runs downstairs to meet her mother. As she's running through the hallway, the door to the cupboard under the stairs opens and a hand reaches out and pulls her in. It's her mother. She whispers to her child, "Don't go in the kitchen. I heard it too." This one is really creepy for me. It literally gave me goosebumps the first time I read it. Thanks for watching and don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!